Okay, so welcome to Team LuLaBabes training. It is February 9th, and tonight we have upselling and, shoot, I forgot the title of it. What are we doing? Upselling and what?
Ordering.
Upselling and ordering with Callie and Shari. And so I'm going to turn it over to you guys. Will you guys please introduce yourself? Tell us a little bit about your why, your 1 second why, or 1 sentence why, and then you guys can go ahead. I'm gonna unmute myself now.
All right. I'll start first. My name is Shari. Some of you might know me as LuLaRose Shari Pishi, and I am from Scottsdale, Arizona. I live in right on the border of Phoenix and Scottsdale. It's really warm here, so I actually have my AC on right now, which is crazy because I know a lot of you guys have snow. But basically, I was a trauma ICU nurse. I'm not working as a nurse right now. I decided that I wanted to do LuLaRose just kind of as something fun. My job got kind of heavy, as you can imagine. And I just did it on my days off, just kind of part-time, and felt like I was making a dent at my debt. And it quickly turned into something that I became very passionate about. And it allowed me to spend time with my family. I went through a lot with my grandmother last year, and I was able to quit my job, work full-time with my LuLaRose business, and take care of my own family instead of other people's families, which meant the world to me. And so that became my why, and now I have this amazing team, and that is like slowly turning into my why because there are such amazing whys on my team. So anyways, that's who I am. My background is nursing. I also have a background in real estate sales and hospitality sales. So I think those things are going to be helpful.
So, sorry, Shari, are you done?
Oh yeah, no, I'm good.
Okay. I'm Callierose from LuLaRose, Callierose's VIPs. I know a lot of you. I can see Jen and a bunch of people on right now. My why for doing LuLaRose, I have 2 little girls and am married. We have the typical American dream. My husband works a corporate American job. We just wanted something on the side to help us out. I have, or had, a lot of anxiety, a little bit of depression when I first started, and it changed it for me. So now we kind of use our why towards giving financial freedom to others who can't have it. So our team, sales page, we do, what's it called, fundraisers towards people. It's not fully set up yet, but we're in the works of it. I am a trainer. I have I think we're close to 20 people underneath us at this point. That's pretty much it. We just want other women to feel as empowered as I feel doing LuLaRose. So that's my way. And I'll let Shari start with sales.
All right. So we're going to kind of talk a little bit about sales, and Callie will come in at the end and we'll also talk a little bit about sales together too. So in case I miss anything or in case she has something great to add. So first thing that I want to talk about with sales is, as I mentioned, my background, I do have a sales background. So I worked for a Fortune 500 company. I worked in hospitality sales. I worked in real estate. I did real estate sales. And one of the biggest things that was always super, super important in, any kind of sales, sorry if you heard that. I don't know what just happened back there. But building rapport, it's always about building rapport. So in LuLaRose, you hear a lot about like social interaction, build your relationships with these people. Your in-home parties, making friends with people. In the online arena, your social interaction, you want to gain their trust. You want to be their friend. So building rapport is huge. And I'll give you a quick example that's non-LuLaRose. You might look at it a little bit differently if you think of it, outside of LuLaRose or outside of the box a little bit. So let's say you want to, you come and you see me and I'm selling this like vacation. And I say, I'm going to sell you this vacation. It's $40,000. Let's go. You're probably going to look at me and be like, wait, you're crazy. However, if I sit, I talk to you, I get to know you, you get to know me, we talk about all of these different things, we find out how this fits your life. We talk about the ways that, if you watch these trainings from home office, we do quality questions. We ask quality questions and we have our product and we help find it to where it fits their life. And that is the bottom line with sales, is you go in, you create a relationship with these people, and you find a way to where your product suits suits them and their needs. And so that, to me, like, I'm going to talk about upselling, but I feel like if you're not selling, then you can't upsell. So we have to get that foundation of sales before we start talking about upselling. Oh, sorry, somebody jumped in there. So anyways, you want to build rapport. Now, in the LuLaRoe sales, the ocean, so to speak, you want to grow your pond. You want to build your community. So you want to make sure that, I call it shaking hands and kissing babies. So you want to get out there. You want to meet people. You want to be giving out your business card. You want to be, talking to people, having that interaction. If you are working in online, like my VIP group, for example, I make sure that I go on, I talk to people, I comment to them specifically, I call them by first name, I tag them in my comments. So I just make sure that I'm creating that bond. I talk to them, I get to know them. My people get to know me. You want to give them a little bit of yourself. That was another thing we did a lot in sales, is the more you share with yourself, the more people share themselves with you. So again, it's that whole rapport and trust and creating that bond. So along that same lines, LuLaRoe, we're really big about be you, be the light, all of these things. So be yourself. We're going to talk about things today that, when I decided that I wanted to do this journey, I went out, I watched so many trainings, and I went and I took little bits and pieces from each one to create what I do for myself. And so I'm going to challenge you to do the same. Maybe you might hear things in this training that might work for me, that might not work for you, or something that might work for somebody else that might not work for you. So just make sure that you find little pieces to create your thing. And don't be afraid to be yourself, be you, be ridiculous, have fun, and, just create that thing, your community, your bond within that group, whether it's your VIP, whether it's your in-home party, whether it's your local venue, a vendor event, whatever it is. So I know a lot of girls take leggings. I had braces. I was at the orthodontist. I was so mad at myself because I had business cards, but honestly, I should have had leggings with me. So, I found out the girls in the orthodontist office all like LuLaRoe. And here I am. I've got business cards and I'm wearing LuLaRoe, but I don't have leggings that I can let them feel, give them to bring them in and book parties and, bring them into my group and that sort of thing. So that's something else. And building your community, those people that you talk to, that you give them a gift that, maybe you make their day and be the day maker. There's the book, The Go Giver. So there are lots of really great things with that. And those people are the people that are going to be your friend. They're going to buy from you, and they're going to have parties, and they're going to have fun, and then their friends are going to have parties, and then you're going to start building your personal community. And the more community you have, the more they kind of start bouncing off of each other and getting to know one another, and that's when it becomes a place that they want to go, and that's when they're going to want to shop with you versus somebody else. And so creating some of that is going to give you the foundation for your sales. Now, you want to make sure you're setting goals. You want to make sure that they're SMART goals. If you don't know about SMART goals, definitely look that up. But definitely kind of one of the things my mentors used to tell me in sales was, if you don't know where you are, you don't know where you're going. You can't figure out I'll talk to some people on my team and I'll be like, okay, how many pieces do you have? How much do you want to sell? What's your goal? We're talking about goals. Where do you want to go with this? What are you going to do to get there? A lot of people say, write down your goals. I was actually doing some stuff in my office the other day, and it was really funny because I found a Post-it note that was stuck to my mirror. It was behind a card, and I pulled it off, and I went and I showed it to Justin, which is my other half, and I said, look at this. And it said cruise by December, and it said trainer by July. And I was like, oh my gosh, it was confirmation that sometimes just writing them down, it helps. So anyways, get your goals, write them down, get all of that going because it's super, super important, and stay positive, because it's so easy to like start letting some of this down. Like Callie, I have major anxiety. I'm not gonna lie, major. And, you know, especially with some of the things that I've been through in my life recently. I lost my grandmother and she was like my rock, you guys. And not only that, and this is a little personal, but I miscarried 2 weeks later. So honestly, it's like I have a very easy time getting kind of like into a dark place, but you just have to remember to stay positive. And that goes for stuff that you've got going on in your personal life. When you walk into your Lula room or your Lula room up here, you have to just kind of leave that stuff at the door and get right into it, which I know can be hard, but it's super important to keep your business going and to keep your proper mental attitude so that you can be super successful. Now, one of the things that I did in my previous sales career was I put positive affirmations like in a rainbow on my mirror in my bathroom. So every morning when I would get up, I would look at these positive affirmations. I'm, you know, in LuLaRoe, maybe it's, I'm going to sell $30,000 this month. I'm going to cruise qualify. Or you can even take it a step further. I've already cruise qualified for the month. Even if you haven't done it, tell yourself, you're programming your brain to go out and do these things. You know, what you focus on is what you get. So just remember those positive affirmations. All of this, you're probably like, what is she talking about? I thought we were going to talk about sales. I promise this has to do with sales. If you don't have these like building blocks underneath, you can go out and sell like a bunch of stuff. If you don't have that social connection, they're probably not going to come back and buy from you unless you have something they really, really want. If you don't continue growing that pond, your pond is going to kind of get stagnant and it's going to get moldy and mossy or whatever, and not in a good way. So anyways, just remember these things are all super, super important. Now, if you want to go out and have sales, what is the best way to have sales? You have events, right? So you want to make sure that you have your in-homes, you have your open houses, you have personal shopping appointments, you have private parties, you have vendor events. You know, a lot of people are like talking to me and they're like, I want to have more sales, I want to have more sales. And I know personally, I want to have more sales. And I get like time-wise, it's hard sometimes to get all of this stuff in or do as much as you want to do. Believe me, I know, I live it every day. However, there are so many opportunities out there. You can do those different parties that I mentioned. You can do your VIP album sales. You can do Facebook Live. You can do Instagram Live, Periscope. You can do multi-consultant sales. There are just all of these different ways that you can go out and open up your horizons on different ways that you can sell and be successful. Now, one thing that I want to mention really quickly on Facebook Live sales. So I'm just going to tell you about me when I first did my first Facebook Live. I think I had like 5 people on, and I had this huge plan. I had all of these leggings, and I took a request, and so I was like, I'm going to go through leggings, and what else do you guys want to do? And somebody said Irma's, and so at this time I was newer, but I watched that inventory video that if you haven't seen it, it's Jamie Bagley and I think. Who else is it? I think Megan knows. Is it Jen Jones?
Lisa.
Oh, yes. Sorry about that. But anyways, that inventory video is like my Bible. I can't believe I messed up her name. But anyways, so I think I was like at that time 18 deep in Irma's. So anyways, here I am. I get on my live and I'm like, let's have a live sale. I've got like 5 viewers. And anyways, I go through literally, like, I'm not kidding, so many leggings, it's ridiculous. I don't know, like 50 or 100, I don't know. It was a lot. And then after that, I sold like, I don't know, like maybe 1 or 2 pairs of leggings. Then I went through every single Irma that I had because somebody said they wanted to go through Irma's. And so I'm like, okay. And seriously, I remember being like into smalls and being like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I've done this because I am stuck. And now I have all of these other sizes. And I think I was down to like 3 viewers and nobody was buying anything. And I was sweating and it was horrible. And I was like, I'm never doing another live sale again. Like it was so terrible. But I will tell you that I did do more live sales. And the reason why I tell you this story is because you might go out there. You might not do that many live sales, or you might not have as many viewers, or you might not have as many actual sales in that sale. However, you're building those communication, that, you know, that connection that we talked about in the beginning. So those live sales, even if you're not selling anything, are super, super important. They really do a lot, and they have value. So even if you're not selling, you're selling yourself. You can share with them a little bit about you, and then they feel like they know you more. So, and then, by the way, just so you guys know, I do more lives. My best live, it was a Carly live, and I sold 55 Carlys in one live sale. So, you know, just because, I mean, it was amazing. I'm not going to lie. It was amazing. I was doing a Carly live like every week, and I was selling literally like 40 to 60 in that range, like every week. It was awesome. But anyways, when I did that, I did it on a consistent schedule. I was doing every single Wednesday. I was doing a live. My people knew, if you want to go on Wednesday, Shari's going to be showing you Carly's. So that was one of the things that I did. So now we've talked a little bit about sales. Oh, so really important. So you have all these different ways that you can sell. So you want to make sure that you're promoting your events. So you want to make sure that you create the event in Facebook. You may have noticed I posted on LuLaBabes today. You want to make sure you're posting on your page. You want to do your daily posts. You want to post in your event. Hey guys, we're starting in 15 minutes. I went live in the event. You know, that people are getting notification. They're seeing you. They know that you're going to be coming, and they're like, oh, hey, 15 minutes. Otherwise, they might see it like yesterday and be like, oh yeah, I want to go to that. And then they don't hear anything. And now they're like, they're out doing other things. They forgot about it. So make sure that you're using that event. Make sure that you're inviting people, and, you know, post hype about it. Get excited. You know, post in the fan pages and the link pages to promote yourself. And honestly, like, share the feels. If you're in an in-home party, you know, by the way, if you have a group and you're doing in-homes, or you have an in-home party, you should be using that event feature. And you can go in and be live and post in that event and get people just as excited as you can for anything else, and remind them that you guys, these are the things that we're going to have. You can do sneak peeks. You can introduce your styles and do different things to get them excited. Now, one of the things is, like, you'll hear people say, like, the feels, like the feels. Now, I will tell you, when I was in sales, they used to talk about pulling on emotional heartstrings. So it's talking about feelings. So now when we think about, like, LuLaRoe and some of the stories you hear on why women love these clothes so much, it's not, oh, hey, it's pretty. Oh, hey, they love the way that they make them feel. So just think about that. They love the way that they make them feel. So now you want to take that feeling. You want to make sure you remember that feeling. You want to make sure they're getting that feeling. So whether it's in your VIP group, and I will tell you, I think it's harder and like online than it is in person to get those connections and to create those feelings and do those things, but you can totally do it. But you want to make sure that you have that passion. You want to find their passion. You want to ask questions, quality questions, to where you can find out what it is that their feelings are. Maybe that feeling isn't a good feeling. Maybe they're like, you know, that Julia dress kind of scares me, you know, or I put on that Julia dress and I don't even want to come out of this room right now. Well, find those things out, because guess what, girlfriend? I have this joy. I have this Monroe. By the way, Monroe and a Julia for me is like one of my favorite combos. So put that on, because I'll tell you, if I'm kind of feeling a little frumpy, I throw a Monroe on it and I'm like, we are ready to go. Like, it is time to go. So anyways, make sure that you're listening to those feelings, because as females, like, we really like the feels. We are all about the feels. So find those feels, get them excited. Being excited. You be excited. When you're excited, people want to be excited too. Think about, if you come into a place, you come into my party and I'm like, here are the clothes, and we have all this stuff going on. You know, you're probably to be like, okay, cool, she's got some cool. But if I'm like, oh my gosh, you guys, I have so many cool things. So, and you know, I'm excited to see people. I get excited to see people. You know, hey, oh my gosh, we're my friend. We're having girls' night out. We're going to have fun. Fun is contagious. And oh my gosh, by the way, I have these clothes. And then they try them on and then they feel good about it. And then you bring them in front of other people and other people are telling them, oh my gosh, that looks so great. You know, and you have your communities and your VIPs. You can do the same kind of thing. It's a little harder, but I will like have giveaways and different things where I'll have them post pictures of themselves and things, and their customers, the other customers in that community, they'll come in and tell them, oh my gosh, that is so pretty, or oh, you look so good in that. When people post things on your wall and, you know, really encourage that interaction, go in, you comment, you know, really when somebody else goes in and comments, comment back and reply to them too. You know, get that interaction going. It helps your people to feel good about what they're doing, and that's what this LuLaRoe everything is all about. And I will tell you, there's something, as you know, I'm a nurse, and one of the things that was like kind of plastered everywhere that we talked about in nursing is they may forget what you said, but they'll never forget the way you made them feel. So think about that. And if you think about it in your own life, they never forget, or well, they always forget what you said, or they may forget what you said, but they never forget the way that you made them feel. So make sure that that feeling that they're not forgetting is something amazing, something wonderful. So they come out of that fitting room with a Nicole on and it feels amazing. If Nicole is not their thing, find them something else. Get them in something else that they're like, okay, now this is my thing. So some of the upselling and increasing sales, so non-salesy posts. And it's like, oh my gosh, we're talking about sales and you're saying don't be salesy? Like, honestly, non-salesy posts. Go out and share yourself. Go out and put lifestyle posts. You know, honestly, Hannah has this down like crazy. Like, if you go to Hannah's Instagram or you go to any of hers, they're just like the most beautiful pictures of Hannah and LuLaRoe, Hannah and her family. You know, it is so amazing and beautiful. And, you know, that's something that I am personally working on. This is one of my goals that I'm trying to work on. I struggle with some insecurities of my own, which really I get in my own way with that. So that's something that I'm trying to work on. But you want to show them lifestyle posts. Show people how cute things are together. So, you know, maybe, you know, try not to go just for the leggings. I know that you hear that a lot and everything else. And I will tell you that when I first started in this business and I would hear like, we're not a leggings company and some of that, I was like, I saw a lot of leggings, girlfriend. But I will tell you this. There are so many other pieces. And when you bring people out of the leggings and they get into some of those other pieces, they fall in love with LuLaRoe. And that classic fashion styling is what this is really all about. They're always going to get the leggings. They're always going to love the leggings. Don't worry about the leggings. And yeah, believe me, I wear leggings too. And you can get them in leggings, but put them in leggings with a curly. Put on leggings with an Irma and a Sarah, you know, that sort of thing. You know, get them into some different outfits. Show people how cute these things are together. When I talked about a live sale that that wasn't here. So anyways, I was in a conversation about live sales earlier today, and we talked about, do you use new inventory or you use old inventory? And I was like, well, I've done both. So I had this one live sale where I created outfits. Now, outfits have not been my biggest seller. However, I took some older things, and I took like Cassie's and some Monroe's and put them together, and they were gorgeous. And I'm telling you, you put some of these outfits together and you show them, look how cute this is together. Look how amazing this is. And then they're like, oh, you know, I had never really thought about getting a Monroe, and now I want a Monroe. And I have people buying Cassie and Monroe sets, you know, things like that. I will tell you with the outfits, I don't do sets like, I don't put a unicorn with something else just to sell to something else. Always think about customer service and always think about your customer. If you watch the home office trainings, we recently talked about the platinum rule. There's the golden rule, and then there's the platinum rule. And the platinum rule is, the golden rule is treat people how you would want to be treated. And the platinum rule is treat people the way they want to be treated. So think about that. So anyways, for me personally, I I wouldn't go buy a unicorn just because it's with another thing and buy them all and everything else. So I don't do sets in my group. However, I'm not going, there's nothing wrong with sets. I think they're wonderful. If they work for you, great, that sort of thing. So what I'm saying by outfits though is putting pieces together to show them styling, to show them outfits so that you can, and not like just because you want to sell a Sarah, but just to go out and create value in these different pieces. And let me know, Megan, if I'm starting to get crazy on time, but I think I'm okay so far. What is this? Is this like got like 5 minutes?
I just want to make sure Kelly has time.
Oh, for sure, for sure. Sorry, I thought I had 20 minutes.
You can do it all if you want.
No, no. I'm almost done, I swear.
No, you're fine. You're totally fine. You're good.
Yeah, you're fine. I was just saying you have some more time.
Okay. But anyway, show people how cute things are together. Definitely, when they see that, create value in it. So like if you have a Sarah, and like I know when I first saw Sarah, I was like, ooh, that's kind of a lot, you know, but make sure that they know, hey, you can wear this Sarah with this Julie. You can wear with the Carly. You don't have to wear with your LuLaRoe. You can wear with jeans. You can wear with a dress. You can wear with all these different things. So now that $70 Sarah is something they can wear all the time. Now a $70 Sarah isn't really that big of a deal. So, you know, make sure that you're creating that value. When they go into a dressing room, make sure, you've probably heard already, make sure they've got multiple pieces. When you're doing your lives, obviously, whenever you're doing anything, make sure, I mean, I wear head to toe LuLaRoe anyways, but make sure you're always wearing your LuLaRoe. Wear at least 2 to 3 pieces when you're doing anything with these cells. When you have your parties, make sure your full length mirror is out in the main part of the party. That way people come out to look at it and everybody can tell them, oh, that looks so cute, and get those feels going. Also, let's see, what else do I have here? Sorry, I got my notes. Styling tips, you know, go out, share with them some different styling tips. When you show people how cute the different pieces are together and how you can style them, they're going to buy more, so you're going to increase your sales, and they're going to be buying more pieces. So it's that upselling factor. So let's see. I think, oh, and my biggest thing on sales, obviously, which I don't think is a challenge for those that are here, is attend trainings. You heard me say in the beginning of my little spiel that the way that I created what I do is I watched all of these different trainings, and I took the little pieces and I put them into my own thing and created my own little baby here. And so anyways, each and every single one of you should do that. Everything from your home office trainings, fashion fundamentals, you know, Team Unicorn Wranglers, LuLaBabes. We have such amazing resources that other teams don't have. And anything else offered by your sponsor, reach out to your sponsor, anything else with other teams that you're invited to. And, you know, there are also some amazing things on YouTube and that sort of thing. But anyways, that is my part on sales, and I'm going to zip it and hand it over to Kelly.
Okay, thanks, Shari. So I'm going to be talking about ordering. From my team, I get a lot of questions on when to bring in a style, when to expand a style, when, how many of each style to have before you release it, which are all great things. And I have had a lot of experience. I've been a consultant for over a year. I signed up last January. So from my experience and from experience of others, this is what I suggest. So when you bring on, or when you're building your inventory, so I personally have 12 to 15, and some pieces, if it's my higher selling pieces, I have about 15 to 20 of those in each size and style. Sorry, I have a little one coming in. Go on out, Ice. So what I do is when I have those 15 to 20 pieces in each style, in each size, each style. So, sorry, she distracted me. Okay, so then when have a party. If it's an in-home and that style and size sells, immediately that night I go and purchase it. I go and reorder that piece. So say a medium, 6 medium Irmas sell. That night I go in and I order 6 medium Irmas. If I don't have enough to complete an order, I order leggings or something like that. But I want to make sure I always have an Irma or have that size. I do have a back stock. I know a lot of people don't have back stock because they like to show everything all at once, because obviously if you don't show it, it's not going to sell. I have a back stock just in case. Sometimes the warehouse gets behind. Sometimes it gets lost in transit. You never know. So my more popular items, I do have a back stock. So when you bring in a new line on, I get this question a lot by my baby. So when I bring a new line on, if I have $4,000 to drop on a new line. I do not drop it right away. I slowly build that. So I place my usual order, which I place a 33-piece order every other day. Yeah, or sometimes it's more. It's usually like 50 pieces every other day. So what I do after, sorry, she's totally distracted me. Let me take her out real quick. Shari, if you want to share something, go ahead. I'm going to take my little girl out.
I don't really have much to share because I don't want to take over our girl's spot right here. What else do I have for you? Anybody reading any good books? Honestly, there are so many good books though from home office. If you guys aren't reading those, you probably should. And I love reading. Are you back, Callie?
Yes. Sorry. Sorry. Wanted to share your thing about.
We'll come back to this.
Right. Okay. So I'm just going to repeat what I last said because then I can get back on track. So I order, when I'm entering a new style, I order 2 pieces of that size per style until I'm built up to at least 6. So if I want to keep going, I can order more, but I usually have until 6 items in that size until I release that style. The reason being I only do a little bit each time. If I spent $4,000 to order a whole line of classic tees, I'm going to get tons of duplicates. Well, chances are I'm going to get 3 to 4 of each piece. So it's not going to work out. People are going to see 3 to 4 pieces. They're not going to be excited. So I usually space it out a little bit. Also, by doing that, I can get people more excited. Oh, look at all this stuff she has, and it's all at once. I don't have to wait forever. And obviously, the more you have, the more you're going to sell. So when you're doing, so when someone sees that you carry classic tees and that's all they wear is classic tees because everybody doesn't fit their body size or Randy's or perfect tees. So they get excited. But if they go in and see that you only have 3 to choose from, don't do that. That's obviously not going to help your sales. Like I said, I carry 12 of each size. So it gives them more to choose from. I order, whenever I place orders, I'm in a position where I can place my 50 piece a day or every other day. And I order a little bit extra so I can have a back stock as well. So if you guys have back stocks, that's great. If not, that's not a problem at all. My online sales, I wait 2 days to place an order if something is sold. Just because some people forget, it takes 24 hours for them to usually pay an invoice. That's when I usually place orders. So if you're in a rut, so this is more for seasoned consultants. If you're in a rut, you don't know what to do, refresh your inventory. Get a hold of consultants that are around you. Exchange those things out. You don't have to necessarily purchase anything because, you guys, we've all been on ruts. I've been on a rut. I have, I think, a 5,200 piece inventory where 1,200 of that is just leggings alone. Last year around this time, I had just launched, so I had only 400. I was in a rut. I mean, it was my first couple of weeks. I had no idea what I was doing. I got a hold of other consultants. I swapped things out. I had my duplicates swapped out. It looked like I had fresh new inventory again. I was able to get back on the ball. Sorry, I'm reading my notes real quick. Capsule releases. This is big for my team as well. So elegant collection, Valentine's, Christmas, order what you're going to think you're going to sell and then some. You always want to push yourself. You always want to have that rare item over not having it. If you're not able to get the capsule, go into your inventory and create your own capsule. So Christmas is easy. You have green, red, and white. Create that for yourself. Valentine's is easy. You have tons of pinks. I mean, this is just my regular inventory. You see, I have a red Sarah. I have this red Sarah. It'd be perfect for Valentine's. Create your own capsule. If you can't afford it, make your own. People love that. Just like Shari said, show people how they can style it. If people see a Sarah and they're like, oh, that just looks like a fancy bathrobe, I'm not going to get that. What I do to help my customers, I knot the ends of my Sarahs on the sides. I'm sure those of you in my VIP can see. So I just knot the ends, and it makes a little classy look on it. It totally changed the texture. It makes the end look kind of circular. It changes people's perspective. Oh, you can do tons of different things with this. It's not just a fancy bathrobe. It's also a jacket. It looks like it's a cute, trendy jacket. So it helps people see the potential of other things as well. So you want to also keep track of your order count, because if you're not hitting your 33-piece minimum, obviously it's not going to go well for you. You want to make sure that you're able to hit that. So it can be hard at first as a new consultant. So I recommend to reinvest everything you make back into LuLaRoe at least for 6 months. That's what I usually tell my babies. Everything you make, reinvest. So if you're selling 10 pairs of leggings, guess what you're going to buy? 10 pairs of leggings as well as 10 pair of leggings, because that's what you just sold. So you want to be able to be ahead, and you want to be able to build your inventory at the same time. If it was 2 Irmas, guess what? You're buying 2 Irmas plus 2 more Irmas of the same size, because that's what you just sold, and you're building at the same time. So if you get to the point where I am, where you have 12 to 15 in each size, and if it's your more popular sizes, you have 15 to 20, then you can start reinvesting into a new style. Or if you're already at that point, you already have 12 to 15, you can also start getting a new style. That's just what I recommend to my babies, so they can be able to pay off their investment off their credit cards or however they did it, so they can get their investment back faster. So if you're in a rut, you don't want to order 400 pairs of leggings, because that's what you can afford, and you know leggings sell well. Leggings are the lowest market item that you can get. So you want to invest in the higher items. I think it was June, I was in a rut again. I was crazy. I don't know why I was doing LuLaRoe, because honestly, it was so stressful for me. And then I realized it makes me happy. It's something I enjoy. So me and my husband sat down and figured out what we're going to do. Because again, I was in a rut. I don't know how I was going to hit my 175 piece order for being a sponsor or whatever. So we sat down, and figured out what it was we were going to do. We did a live sell almost every day. We did a multi-sell almost every day. We did everything we could to be able to hit that order and to continue what we were doing. So when you're in a rut, don't be like me, because I sat there and was folding my arms, and I was so mad because everyone was so successful, and here I am, I'm just over here, I have amazing things and they're not selling. Do not be the victim. Don't be the victim. I was the victim, and it wasn't helping my business. It wasn't doing anything for me. Change your mindset. That's all I have to say, is change your mindset to you being the empowered person. That's really all LuLaRoe is about, is faking it till you make it, because no one knows. No one knows that you have these inner struggles or anything. You have to fake it till you make it. If you have a style that isn't selling, stop ordering that style. So I have maxi skirts right now. I thought they would do awesome in winter. They're not doing so well in the winter. They're more of a spring thing, which is crazy to me, because they cover your legs so you don't have to shave. And you can wear leggings at the same time. So stop ordering that style. Let it go down a little bit. I don't let mine drop past 10. If you're just starting out, don't let it drop past 5 or 6. You don't want to have to try to build up again, because it gets complicated and it's hard. So I go down to 10. I don't order any more of those. I put that money that I've sold down to 10 back into Irma's or back into Randy's, something that I'm selling most popular. I try not to invest it in leggings, because again, leggings are the lowest item. You want to invest it into Sarah's. Sarah's are a huge seller. I sell tons of Sarah's. I go through lots of Sarah's because I pump them up. I'm constantly wearing a Sarah or a Joy. I'm constantly showing different ways to wear it. So again, if you want something to sell, wear it. I wear maxi skirts. I sold 7 in a day because I wore it, and I talked about them for a whole week. So there's different ways that you can talk something up and you can share it. You want to be able to grow deep and not out. So again, I'm going to say, do not order every single size and style just in small, medium, and large, because no one's going to buy that. You're reaching such a tiny, tiny audience when you have a huge nation, countries that you can reach out to. So you want to so obviously LuLaRoe set up the packages with different packages that are the most popular and selling. You want to expand on those styles before you expand on your inventory. If you get duplicates, I love getting duplicates because it means I don't have to take as many pictures. It means that when I go to in-home parties and someone tries on that beautiful Julia dress that I thought I would never sell, and their friends love it and see it on them, they're going to want it as well. So then you can take those duplicates to your parties, and they see that, well, your duplicates are gone because one person tried it on and loved it. Let's see, let me read my notes. Sorry, guys. Don't take profit right away. I know I went over that. You want to reinvest, bigger inventory, bigger the sales. So I know you guys have all seen this picture, but I'm just going to briefly go over it. If you purchase, I'm just going to go from the bottom, 292 items. If you order 292 items at the wholesale cost, that will be $4,964. retail investment, that will be $8,000 to $12,000. Now, are you going to make that automatically because you order 292 items? No, you have to do the work on your part. You have to be able to advertise those. You have to be able to do the live sales and do the parties. You can't expect just by ordering those that you'll just get the work right away. So you have to also do the work. If you don't love the style you carry, you have to fake it till you make it. You have to. I have a baby who just onboarded, so she got Monroes in her packages. I love the Monroe. I will be honest. I did not love her at first. I did not like the thought of wearing fringe out in public. It scared me to death. I just didn't like it. I tried it on. That was it. I loved it. I tried it on with the Julia, like Shari said, and that was a game changer for me. Try your things on in different ways. If you try on and still don't love it, get rid of it. Sell it out. Again, if you don't love it and you're not expressing it to your customers, it's not going to sell. It won't sell. If you're not wearing it, if you're not sharing your joy of it, it won't sell. It will sit there. So get rid of it. Swap it out with another consultant for a different style or something that you already carry to expand your inventory more. Let me check over. Let me see real fast. Don't over order. You don't want to be stuck with a bunch of inventory that you can't sell. That's extremely hard. I've done that multiple times. So your sales should drive your orders. It shouldn't be the other way around. Your orders, you need to sell things in order to place more orders. It shouldn't be, I can't think of the words. I'm totally like spacing out, guys. I can't think right now. But yeah, I think you get the point. It gets your sales up if you do it. If you think in the way of sales driving your orders, then vice versa. And I think that's pretty much all I have because I'm totally spacing out and I can hear my kids screaming in the background. Sorry, let's open up Q&A.
Really quickly, one thing that she mentioned, you know, and like I said in the beginning, some of the things that we go over, you might, like some of the things I shared, you might be like, yeah, that's never going to work for me. So just find what does work for you. I will say, as far as Nicole, I think I own one Nicole and I've never worn her. So like sometimes you can carry things and you can still be excited about them. Perfect. I sell so many perfects. I don't even own I do have a perfect again that I've never worn. So sometimes you can have them, but again, you have to really fake it. If you want to carry something that isn't really kind of suitable for you, I know that that's for me. You know, there are some styles that I'm like, Carly, when Carly first came out, I'm like, I'm never wearing Carly because I'm going to look like a beach ball in a Carly because I'm a little, you know, I'm curvy. So, and I've got some stuff going on up top. And so you put something that just kind of hangs and like I said, beach ball. And I had like sold so many Carlys and did not wear Carly. And then one day I put on a Carly and it was love after that day. I should have like given her a different shot in the beginning. But anyways, find what works for you for sure.
Okay, so I remembered something. Sorry, Megan.
It's okay.
Want to pull your group too. So if you want to bring on a style or something and you're like, oh, I love the Coles, I love them, and your group wants Julia, you need to go with Julia. Do not go with the style you love. I mean, sure, you want to go with what you love because you can pump it up, you can do so great. But if your group wants the Julia, go with the Julia because you're going to sell more. When you're wanting to bring on a style, obviously don't bring on our Jers in the winter. It's not going to work. You're going to have an extremely hard time bringing on Sarahs or Maxis or something else that's going to be warm and comfy, cozy during the winter. Same as how you wouldn't bring Sarahs on in the summer, the hottest point of the season. So, and when you release things, make it super exciting, make it show different ways to style it, show it with accessories, show it with boots, show it with shoes. Don't wear the styles in ways that it wasn't made. So don't wear a maxi skirt as a I know Deanne and Patrick have been very verbal, haven't really want us to do that. I do see consultants still doing it, and it's great, it's exciting, it's fun, but they want us to show us how it was intended to be made. So another thought.
Awesome. Thanks, you guys. I wanted to add really quickly what you were talking about, both of you actually were talking about, because with perfect tees, I actually asked my group if they wanted perfect tees or I don't remember what the other one was, but I really wanted the other one, and they picked perfect tees, and I was like, dang it, I don't love perfect tees. And And then I got Perfect Tees and was like, oh my gosh, I love Perfect Tees. Because turns out the one Perfect Tee I had tried on was the wrong size and was a material that just wasn't flattering on me. And now I love Perfect Tees, and my group loves them too. So don't be afraid of a style just because you don't think you'll like it. And I actually felt the same way about Julia's, because I tried on an old Julia, like an original Julia, and I tried it on in my true size and was like, oh my gosh, I look like a stuffed sausage. And then then Hannah was like, no, go up in the Julia, size up. And I did that, and now I love her. So I love that. I wanted to ask you, Callie, how do you choose what you have in your back stock and when to like rotate it out? Because I don't have back stock, but I think that's a great idea.
So what I do is it's always my most popular item. So I have Irma's, Perfects, Randy's, basically all my t-shirts, even my kids' stuff is back stock. When I sell an item, those get moved over. So I have about 10 in back stock as well. So that's why my inventory is so big and it doesn't reflect that on my page, just because I have 2 different inventories. So when I sell an item, I pull it from my back stock, put it right there, and then I put it up, just because last year when the inventory was behind, or the warehouse was behind, it was seriously driving me crazy. So that's why I do it. I know a lot of older and newer consultants just don't do it anymore, because obviously if you're not showing it, it's not going to sell. But just for my sanity, I have 2 inventories. So that's why. Did I answer your question?
Thank you. Yeah, you did. Absolutely. No, I love that. And also, by the way, Shari, I'm totally going to start wearing a Julia with the Monroe. I actually, weirdly enough, have not tried that. I carry both. I own both. I haven't put them together for some really weird reason, but we say that the Monroe and the Lindsay and the Sarah, they all had the lady lumps, and so I usually wear my Julias with something, but anyways, no, I love that. So thank you for that. If you guys have any questions, you can unmute yourself or you can type in the chat down below for these wonderful ladies. And also, I'm sure if you have a more personal question or a more in-depth question, you can also message them as well. I'm just looking over. I took a ton of notes too, because you guys were awesome. I love, Shari, what you were saying about building a community, because your group totally reflects that. And I feel like sorry, I'm stuck in here. When we finally started doing that in our group, that was when we saw a huge boost in our sales, because when my group was smaller, I did that, and then it got really big and I was overwhelmed by it. And then, so I just kind of took a break from that, because I was like, there's so many people, I can't respond to everything and I can't tag people. And anyways, so going back to that really helped our group. If nobody else has a question, then we're going to end. Did you guys have a challenge to leave us with?
Oh, I hadn't thought about a challenge. Let's see, I'll come up with something quick. That's the orange in me. I'll go for it. By the way, I didn't mention that in my intro. I am definitely an orange. I'm orange gold though, but I am more orange. So anyways, it's really kind of weird. But let's see. My challenge is to focus on positivity. Find something that you can think of every day to keep yourself positive, that's going to influence your business, your personal life, and just keeping focused on positivity, especially if things aren't going exactly the way that you want them to go, because that will really kind of keep you going. And I know that for me, that's one of my struggles. So whether it's a positive affirmation or, like I said, on the bathroom mirror and plastering them or whatever it is, just focus on. My challenge to you is to just be more positive and share that positivity with other people so they get those feels.
Yeah. So in addition to Shari's, because I love that, that's awesome. I would challenge you guys to reinvest your inventory. That was a huge game breaker for us, was reinvesting your inventory rather than going out to eat and we're like, oh, we have no money for inventory. What are we going to do? Because all the money we made was not reinvested. So I would recommend reinvesting your inventory. And if you are struggling or whatever, reach out to your sponsor. I'm sure they'll tell you to change your backdrop and revamp your page, but whatever. But we're here for you. We're able to help out in any way, but I would recommend reinvesting in your inventory.
Awesome. You guys are the best. That was fantastic. And I will put the recording up, so if you jumped on late or if somebody missed it, they can go back and rewatch it. And thank you and good night.
Thank you.